ஸோ வணக்கம் நண்பர்களே. ஸோ இன்றைக்கி வீடியோவில் நம்ம என்ன பார்க்க போகிறோம் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா நியூக்ளியர் ரியாக்டர் தான். ஸோ ப்ரீவியஸ் வீடியோவில் நம்ம லிக்விட் ட்ராப் மாடல்னா ஷெல் மாடல் தென் கலெக்டிவ் மாடல்லாம் என்னென்னு பார்த்துருக்கோம். ஸோ இன்றைக்கி நியூக்ளியர் ரியாக்டர். ஸோ நியூக்ளியர் ரியாக்டர் இஸ் ஒன் டைப் ஆஃப் த டிவைஸ். ஸோ நியூக்ளியர் ரியாக்டரில் நம்ம என்ன கேரி அவுட் பண்ணலாம்னா the nuclear reactor is a perfectly controlled chain reaction. Nuclear reactor was first built in the year 1947. So the nuclear reactor first available in Chicago at China. So these are all the 4 point basics and most important. Then in nuclear reactor there should be a 5 component. One is fuel, that is called fissionable material. Then second one moderator, then third neutron reflector, then fourth one cooling system, and fifth one is a safety and control system. So we have to discuss this 5 component upcoming nuclear reactor then. So nuclear reactor la from the last classes we have to discuss then basic about the nuclear reactor. In that nuclear reactor is a perfect control chain reaction, was built in 1942 Chicago and USA. There are 5 main component we have to discuss in the last video. One is fissionable material, then moderator, then neutron reflector, then cooling system, and safety and control system. So இன்னைக்கு first one தான் we have to the 5 component la we have to discuss. First one, fuel and fissionable material. So fissionable material commonly used with 3 isotopes. One is uranium isotopes, then thorium isotopes, then platinum isotopes. Sometimes இது மாதிரி கொடுத்துட்டு then uranium 92 238, which one is the fissionable material used in the nuclear reactor na we have to choose either uranium 235, uranium 238. Similarly thorium and platinum isotope. So fissionable material are sealed nuclear reactor la moderator தான். Before that we have to discuss fuel. So moderator of function then slow down the high energetic neutron. It will produced in the process of uranium 235 to the thermal energy, converted into a thermal energy. What are the examples for a moderator na? Then graphite, heavy water, then D2O. Sometimes they should be asked in one mark which of the following in the nuclear reactor act as the moderator na? We have to choose either one. The next point, for example the neutron are slowed down to the required velocity. For example fast neutron can be to slow down the neutron by requiring velocity. For example 2 mega electron volt can be slowed down. The required electron volt may be a 0.02535, then corresponding velocity may be 220 meter per second. So after that if it that slow down the neutron, then finally we get thermal neutron. This is the last third main component, nuclear reflector. So nuclear reflector is a material. It should be surrounded by fuel and moderator. So fuel and moderator already discussed in the previous classes. So a neutron reflector is a material in between, or it should be surrounded by fuel and moderator. So the neutron reactor reflector oda value enna, then it reflect the escape neutron back into the reactor. So அப்படி பண்ணும்போது it minimize the loss of the neutron. So this is the most important point. The neutron reflector which has a good reflector. எப்போ good reflector இருக்கும்னா the nice scattering cross section and low absorption cross section. So then before the cases moderator la low atomic weight and low absorption cross section, which should be a moderator. In neutron reflector la the nice scattering cross section and low absorption cross section, it should be a good reflector. Okay, thank you. இன்னைக்கு cooling system na என்னன்னு பார்க்க போறோம். So cooling system na then what are the coolant or heat transfer agent. So இதுல இருந்து டெஃபினட்டா ஒரு क्वेश्चन வரும். அப்போ what are the examples for a cooling system or heat transfer agent? That should be one is a water, then steam, helium, then CO2, then air or liquid sodium. So இது நிறைய டைம் கேட்டிருக்காங்க, இதில் கொஞ்சம் கான்சன்ட்ரேட் பண்ணுங்கள். நெக்ஸ்ட் ஹெவி வாட்டர் ஆர் சம் ஆஃப் த certain molten metals and alloys. So these are all the examples for heat transfer agent to the secondary thermal system of the reactor. So how to can be transferred from one place to the another place means the coolant transfer the heat to the secondary thermal system of the reactor. So definitely அதிலிருந்து ஒரு question வரும் நண்பர்களே, அதனால் அதை கொஞ்சம் கான்சன்ட்ரேட் பண்ணுங்கள். So then one more is bending in that 5 component. Already we have to discuss everything. Thank you. So வணக்கம் நண்பர்களே. ஸோ இன்றைக்கி பார்த்தீங்கன்னா nuclear reactorல last main component தான் then control and safety system. So before we have to discuss 4 main component. One is the fuel, then moderator, then neutron reflector, then last class we have to discuss about then cooling system, some of the examples. So from this is the last one in the nuclear reactor. Okay, so then control and the safety system now. So the control system enable the chain reaction. Okay, it enable the chain reaction, and it should be a prevent spontaneously running away for smooth nuclear reactor. Okay, then control and safety system pushing the control rod into the reactor core. So the rod or material, it should be made up of boron or cadmium. So this is the last important one. There should be the large neutron and absorption cross section. So we have to discuss the nuclear reactor, then 5 main component. Thank you.